Hello, I'm Timothy Linsdau, a video producer, a Christian, and paying attention to today's politics. So, what would ignite politics but homelessness? Today, one of the subjects that is igniting politics all over the place is homelessness. We especially see it on the West Coast, and especially where I'm at in San Diego. It just ignites all the rhetoric that you can imagine. But anyway, one of the things that we had happen in our area was a hepatitis outbreak that occurred in the homeless. There's always potential for disease. Especially in a border area where you have a lot of immigration moving out who may not have everything they need for the vaccines type of things that we have and take for common in the U.S. But anyway, the politics carry on. Some local politicians are kind of doubting our mayor in his quest, and nothing new there because they come from different backgrounds and different parties. But politicians, one likes to think they do the right thing for the benefit of everyone and the people. But are they also not motivated for their own quest to continue their career in politics, or some other advantage they get from being in politics? Many politicians go on to big board positions. They're going after what benefits them also, and hopefully not to the detriment of the people, but it doesn't look so great. And one of those problems is homelessness. But I think homelessness is a complicated issue. And how do regions get, the inexpensive, if you will, housing for people? Because homelessness is a complicated issue that again can ignite massive rhetoric. Is the fact that a lot of people, they say, have mental issues that are out there. There are those who actually become addicted to it. I have to say that very carefully. I have heard those from other people that work with people like that, work with the homeless, that they get out there, and if they can get to food and water, and they're allowed to sleep in a tent unmolested on the street, even though probably most every city that's illegal to do that. So they're given a pass. I guess that what concerns me about that is that you're ignoring the law. And I think when you ignore the law or make a choice about which laws you're going to enforce, starts to approach lawlessness, which is a grave danger. So whether politicians are doing these things to help people or to help themselves, that's the question. To make affordable housing. Some say this has led to poverty and misery. I grew up in a very rare place in Wyoming, in Jackson Hole. Beautiful, probably the most beautiful place in the world, in my opinion. Very expensive. They need people to work up there all the time. And it's hard to get people because there's no place to live because you can't afford it. Well, okay, now I'm in San Diego. Well, guess what? It's the same thing again. It's what I call rare earth. It's expensive housing here because it's rare earth. It's a beautiful place on the ocean with a beautiful bay. Probably the best weather in the world, or very close to it. It drew me here, drew me and my family. And but it's tough because you have that supply and demand still working, and it makes the housing expensive. So the politicians say, well, when developers go to build a project, they have to either build some units for low income, or they pay a fee. So some politicians argue whether they should eliminate the fee and just force them to have these lower income houses. Apparently, according to San Diego's reporting, that they're piling this fee up and it's becoming a pretty big pot of money. Now, what have you heard about politicians who get a big pot of money? Does that not ignite another argument? Ooh, what could we do with that to get us elected again? So it's a sad story, and it never gets answered. It just gets argued. L.A., San Diego, San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington. And those governing bodies there are mostly dominated by the left. That I'm not always certain that their quest to help others is just to help others, other than themselves. One of the things they want to do is reduce height restrictions and other zoning issues for the affordable housing. And that cannot be done easily on the coastal area like San Diego without a vote of the people. I've had some developers tell me that really came from people with money not wanting their view blocked. Well, money talks, does it not? Money issues ignite another argument. But this is nothing new. It'll probably go on forever. So what do? How do we get people off the streets? You know, there are like senior centers. HUD Housing has a home for seniors. My folks lived in those places, and they were nice. Guess if I had a chance, I might do that myself. And you know, they have reduced amounts based on their income, and but all of these places are full, and people are on waiting lists. So we could use more of those things. So according to this article, they're trying to lower or streamline for the developers to build these projects. But remember, the evil developer are people also. They have businesses trying to make a living for them and their families. You can say whatever you want to, but in a free economy based on life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, who are we to tell anyone in their business, which we do anyway, that you can't make as much money here. We're going to take some of your profits and help out these people over here. And you're going like, well, do we know who these people are? Are they taking advantage of us or taking advantage of that business? I dare say that can ignite another argument. So to balance it so that it's fair about who's getting these less than expensive places to live, I don't want people on the street living homeless than anybody else. But we know it's a complicated issue. There are issues and reasons that they're out there. Yes, that some of those things can be out of their control. Mental illness, physical illness, disease, injury, war. There's many veterans on the street, and they have multiple issues, PTSD, such things as that. But the politics just goes on and on and on. And you say everybody in the community must do their part. Well, everybody's, like me, average guy, going to work every day, get up at 4 in the morning, sometimes attending college at the same time and running a small business. I did all those on top of my regular employment. Not looking for bragging rights, because many people do that. I enjoyed every bit of it, actually, even though it's tough. And now that I'm retired, I think I'm busier now than I was then, but wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. So, wow, as a Christian, pray about this, How can we help control this and help these people? If you aren't a Christian, give it some thought. Think about your neighbor. How can you help them out? What can you do? What can we do that's right? Contact those politicians, man. We're paying them a lot of money to be there, and their staffs and all that, to be thinking critically about something and actually accomplish something. That's what I'd like to see them accomplish something. So if you want to latch on to something and ignite a conversation about the homelessness, jump in. Jump into the arena. Let's make something happen. Let's do what we can. Thank you. I'm Timothy Linsdau. Like and comment on my video. Subscribe to my channel. A lot of stuff on there, a lot of history and politics, civics, health issues. Thanks a lot. Bye now.